Yes. I got gifts this week.
We're mad. I
We
know.
are.
She was just showing her gifts. She just got some stuff. Show. She's got Joni Mahan's book about Michael Robichaux.
Well, he's, hey,
So
the best thing about this book, I got it signed by the author herself and the subject of the book.
nice. Nice. That's a great book. That has, I mean, it's so many wonderful things. And it's not even all of his things. Like he says in there, she could have written a whole
The
another
whole
hundred
second book.
pages without blinking of how
Oh
much.
yeah, I'm so sure. I am
Yeah.
so looking forward to getting into this. I think I'm gonna take a week off of work. Hey
5 seconds. 4,
guys, yeah, I'm gonna take a week off of work and then
1.
Ah.
just read.
All right, guys. Hold on.
Talk Radio.
Good evening and welcome to the Fox Den. I am Gina B in the place to be. P. Fox, the paranormal princess herself, Gina Bankston. And with me is my beautiful butterfly babe, the magical, the mystical Mama D. And we are here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to bring you a variety of guests to entertain you and to help you in any way we possibly can. Thank you for joining us, and please share our feeds. Good evening, everybody. Tony,
Hey everyone.
yeah, we are supposed to have Corbie Mitleid with us tonight. She did do the test earlier. I don't know if anything happened with her. She might be just joining us late. I'm not sure. But in the meantime, our show last week, we were
Oh
kind
yeah.
of a little bit interviewing each other, but we ended up doing a lot of card pulling and having a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
it
And I,
did.
yeah, I think it went well. And let's see, what do we got here? Hi, Candace. Hi, Sharon. Hey, June. Hey, Dave. What's happening, everybody? You know, we
Well, okay. I want to say something about last week's show. I want to know how you felt doing readings because you've never really done them, not with oracle cards before.
right. No, I've done tarot. I did tarot like years and years and years ago. But yeah, no, the oracle. I really wanted to get into them, and definitely it's you. It's you that sparked the interest for sure in me about those oracle cards. And yeah, I want to get more now. Um, I mean, even when you're reading the tarot,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, they have certain things that they denote, but as do the oracle cards. There's
Mm,
certain things, like there's the book tells you this, tells you that, but it's what you see, it's what you feel, and how it pertains to the person. You know,
exactly.
and it was simple. It was like all very. You could just see it. You just knew what was going to be, for that person. And that was kind of cool. I thought we did really well with it. I'd love to do it again. Um,
Yes.
Hi,
Agreed.
Barbara Lancaster. Long time no see. Glad you're with us. Yeah. Oh, here she is. Okay, hold on. Hey,
Hey,
Corbin.
Corbie.
Oh, I have no sound. You gotta turn on your microphone if you can hear us. Okay.
Nope,
Nope.
no sound. Ooh, catch him.
All right,
There we
now.
go.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So for everybody out there who owns cats, mea maxima culpa, we're getting our brand new rescue kitten tomorrow, and we were just battening down the hatches. So sorry that I'm 2
Beautiful.
minutes late.
Oh no,
Oh
that's a
no,
good.
no.
That's a good reason. Hello, be late for that one.
Oh, I know. She's a
Yes.
cat. She's a cat lady. I'm a
There
I'm
you
a,
go.
I'm a
There
fox
you go.
lady. But let me so welcome, and let me play the intro video so you all know who Corbie Mitleid is.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I am Gina B, and the place to be is here with me and Mama D every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the Fox Den. Tonight we have Corbie Mitleid with us. She is a certified professional tarot oracle reader, a psychic medium, a channel, an inspirational teacher, author, and she is a past life specialist. Beginning at the age of 18, this is her full-time job, traveling to fairs, expos, and events. Please like and follow her Facebook page, Fire Through Spirit. Watch her inspirational videos and posts. If you are fortunate enough to get a reading from her, please don't go in haphazardly. Know what you want to know. Why waste time? She will give you the straight answers you're looking for. She is down to earth with her deliveries, and they may even include some comedy. It's like talking with a lifetime friend. As a teacher, she says we can all do what she does. She just may have more time under her belt than you do at the moment. We'll find out more about her teaching in her book, You've Got the Magic, Who Needs a Genie? The A-Lister's Guide to Holistic Expo Success. And she can help you be an A-lister, not a B-lister. And let's ask her what she means about that, shall we? She is put on this earth to help in only ways she can. As an incredible communicator, she empowers you to be the best version of you that you can be. Overcome your fears and do what you need to do to succeed. She has been on the show before, and I am excited to have her back. Welcome back, Corbie.
Hi.
Wonderful to be here. Wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I think you were on the show when it was me and Chris.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah, so that was a long time ago. So yes, definitely welcome back. Sorry I wasn't here to do the test with you. I know Mama did. I'm like, Mama, you gotta go because
all's well.
Yeah,
all's well.
I was with my.
I didn't hurt her, I swear.
I'm like, you scared her up. She's not coming.
Barbara Lancaster says, "Congrats about the new kitty."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you go to Corbie's page, you can see her kitties. And what are their names now? They're cool names.
Well, yes. All right. The elder is Baron Manfred. He's our 12-year-old Maine Coon. Then there's the Prawn. Real name is Leviathan, but got nicknamed the Prawn. And he's 3.5. And then tomorrow we're getting Harlan Pouncy Bounce, otherwise known as the Pocket Rocket. And he's about 8 months old. 1/3 the size of our Maine Coons. He's like 7 pounds and a schnoot. And so, we're hoping he's a Nerf kitty, bounces off the wall. It does not damage. So.
Well, we're very pet friendly.
Yes.
Here. So if they make an appearance,
We have no choice.
there's Onyx.
Hiya, honey.
Yeah, that's the baby. So
He got a haircut in the bath today, so he wants his tummy rubbed now. Sorry,
I got a haircut today.
Oh, well.
I did my
We're
haircut.
all fluffed and buffed, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I was having a little time before this show actually started, so my hair kind of went down. It was nice and fluffed until I was getting irritated. I don't have patience with
No, she doesn't.
sometimes.
Things they don't work at all.
Right.
All I can say is God bless Governor Cuomo. We are able to get our hair cut again, and I have an appointment on the 24th, exactly 4 months since I saw my
Wow.
Wow.
So my hair is gray and like a fading hippie. It just went.
This is the thing. I've always done my own hair. I cut and color and highlight and do all that stuff myself, and I always have. So,
Lucky
again.
woman.
Yeah, but I didn't do it before my trip, and it was so hot and humid. I looked like a wreck all week. Her air conditioning was broken. It was horrible, but that's beside the point. And hopefully it will get fixed. And it hasn't even gotten fixed. It was supposed to get fixed again. And I don't know. I pray for the poor girl. Her, the baby, my other daughter. My first husband's down there. Everyone's down there, all crammed in the house, sweating to death. I'm back.
Because you're having hot flashes just listening to that.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was so bad. I was just, yuck. My hair was just curled.
It melt.
Girl. That was it. I said, well, what are you going to do? He was going to be all in my hair. It's like, half the time I had cupcake. And
You had kids, therefore.
Yeah, 2-year-old, a 2-year-old. That's why I went down there. My 2-year-old grandson's birthday party. So, yeah.
Okay.
But when you could get near him. Oh, there's one kitty. There's one.
That's Manfred. Manfred is the ginger and white. Prawn is red shaded silver. He actually looks pink.
Oh, very cool. Like salmon. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, my daughter has a Maine Coon.
Maine
Yeah,
Coon.
Charlie. And if it stretches its paws out, it looks like a lion claw. It looks like it has fingers. I'm like, oh my God, that's insane.
They are enormous. We call them little dogs in cat suits because they're about the size of a Cocker Spaniel.
That's it.
And they're very social and they play. And these are not your aloof cats. Not at all.
Awesome. So now, all right, and in the intro, we were saying all the things that you do, wonderful things that you do. Now, I really want to know about the past life things that you do. Now, the sessions that you give people, how did you know that you could do that? And how do you do that?
All right. I didn't know that I could do that, frankly. I do know that I got my own most important past life. There were actually two back in the 1980s. I'm not a fangirl groupie, but I was obsessed with one particular guy in an 80s rock group out of Philly.
Do tell.
And
Her
I,
husband's from Philly.
what?
Her husband's from Philly.
There you go. So I just did some of this work. I had figured out, I'd had a past life regression where I saw myself in 1784. And there was this guy. And the story was it's not glamorous, I was the local Round Heels tavern girl. And, his little bit of fluff. I got pregnant, tried to blackmail him, didn't work. His retainer had me drowned. Okay. So I got a date and I knew who was who, but I didn't have proof. So all of a sudden, I was having linguine and clam sauce in a mainline seafood restaurant. And what comes into my head was the phrase Marcus Baron Gordon Huntley. I'm thinking, what is this? Well, when you get a weird thing like that, what do? You go to Debrett's Peerage, which is the list of all of the nobility in England.
What is it called?
Debrett. Debrett's Peerage. It's like this. And what I looked up, I knew that. All right, so I found that in 1752 was born Alexander 12th Marcus of Huntley, and in 1783 or 4 he was made Baron Gordon of Huntley. And this was not my period of history. My stuff was Wars of the Roses. My stuff was Henry VIII. I knew from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So and as I did a little research on this guy, my story fell right in line. It didn't mention me, but it mentioned that he and his wife didn't get along and he had a string of bastards and. So that was the first time that I realized, there's really something to this.
Yeah.
The life that really affected me was in 1991. I was visiting the old Rhinebeck Aerodrome because my boyfriend then wanted to go. I knew nothing about World War I, and because of World War II, was terrified to hear German. Germans were evil, the whole thing. All of a sudden, I see 2 German planes fly in front of me because they have reproductions that fly. It was an Albatross D5 and a Fokker triplane like the Red Baron and Snoopy. And the 2 thoughts in my head were, there's a story behind that, and I flew that one. So overnight, I needed to learn to speak German. I needed to learn about the war, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And did my research and found out who I was with someone else who doesn't talk about what she does because it could damage her relationship with her 2 kids. We did all the back research. We found her. She was able to give me corroboration with things that she shouldn't know unless she studied a book of the list of German squadrons and cavalry officers from 1898, things like that. We had this information and we did not know why. So if you look at a picture of me and who I was at the same age, so that's me at around mid-30s, and this person, it's like I'm in drag.
Wow. That's
So
crazy.
And doing past lives, you'll find out a lot of stuff, what you're working on this time. Okay.
Right.
Which is how I got to work with Robert Schwartz in his books, Your Soul's Plan and Your Soul's Gift.
Awesome. Awesome. You know what? I'm going to have to scooch over because my dog is having a little meltdown over there right now myself.
Oh, mommy, go fix.
I got to go find out
Go,
what's going on.
Mama.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
You can. She'll still hear us. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Okay. So, see, past life is something that's always interested me. So when you talk with somebody about, no, Gina, will probably be asking later. Okay. When you talk with somebody about this, can you send me into a past life regression, or is that something that I have to, like you did, sort of discovered it just sort of threw into your face type of thing?
The key is there are two different things: regression and retrieval.
Okay.
Past life regression, you must never have done unless the person you're working with is a certified past life hypnotherapist, which I am not. This
Okay.
just happened to me. That was the universe dealing with it.
Yeah.
But the reason is, let's say you discover a life where, you were gang raped and left to die. If you're with someone who doesn't know how to pull you out and you get involved with that could do severe emotional damage now.
True.
Okay, so that's why if you want to go and play in the Akashic Records, you find a certified hypnotherapist. If you just want to find out why you're terrified when you have wet hair in your face, then you come to me, you ask the question. I do the deep trance meditation. I'm the one who goes up into the Akashic, pulls down a book and says, read chapter 2. Are you playing? All right. We need love. This is pet night on the Fox Den.
Yep. There's
Awesome.
animal night. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yep.
my dog wanted to get up on the bed and she won't jump up by herself.
So using that example of wet hair, that literally happened when Rob and I were teaching at Lilydale. A woman raised her hand. Her hair was butch short. She said, I am always terrified when I get wet hair in my face. That's why I keep it like this. What's the matter with me? And I said, nothing. And I did a quick look upstairs and I said, you have a 5-syllable answer, Lusitania. In 1915, you were one of the passengers on the ship when it got torpedoed by the Germans. You had not bobbed your hair. You had the full Edwardian mop, so you had a lot more water that was taking on as you fell overboard, and the extra hair debris got caught and you pulled you down and you drowned. She looked at me white-faced and said, is that why I'm also scared of going onto a ship? I said, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
That's when a past life is important.
Yeah, I had done that before a session and found out that I, like way back, like living in a castle. It's like I love living in castles. It's my dream to be in a castle. I got a house as close to a castle as I possibly could. You know what I mean? I just love it, everything about it. But here I am, a woman in that, way back. I don't know what the time frame was. All right, and I guess we had money. And my dad was supposed to marry me off. I did not want to get married. And this guy was just marrying me for the money. And on the wedding day, I get killed. All right. So I see the white. It had to have been an axe in the head. I saw this like even scrying in a mirror, that a line across my face. So I must have gotten, axe or sword or something or falling because there was a hill, there was the green grass. That's all I can remember seeing. I know I was like just thrown over the hill down and I could see blood on my arm and the white sleeve. And that's it. But I've always been deathly afraid of marriage. Like, if I get proposed, now I've been married twice, divorced.
Okay, so I will not ask you to marry me.
Died, but I have a fear. I really do. I panic. Even thinking about marriage, I panic still.
That's an exact reason why a past life can help. If you know that what you're feeling is from a past life, it doesn't have to repeat now.
Yeah, but it's like so, oof, comes right out, and it is. It's like an anxiety filled,
Yes, that's exactly right. You said you didn't know what time period. One of the things that I tell people is spirit is going to use what you got. For instance, why did I become a past life specialist? Didn't set out to do that, but theater major at Brown University. I can do any accent or dialect you want. I am an author. I love words. Words are my drug of choice. I tell stories. And I love history. Going back to Rhinebeck, that's where I met my husband, Carl. The joke is there was this gorgeous brunette who met who knew the difference between a Fokker DR1 and an F1 based on the weighing skids. He had to marry her. So that's why Spirit said, you're going to do past lives. What about something like psychometry and pendulums? I have a slight benign tremor in one hand, like Katharine Hepburn.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't trust what I get from a pendulum. So that's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why don't think that you have to do it. If you guys are listening and you want to do this stuff, don't think you have to do everything. Spirit knows what your keys are, and Spirit will put that in your hand.
That's exactly it. Yeah, because I do paranormal investigating, but I'm really good at the pendulum, the rods, not so much. But all my equipment, I love my equipment. And then, like I hear tones. I can hear a tone if a spirit comes in, low, medium, and a high tone pitch, Low, I'll get a little nervous, medium and high, I'm not, So we take people to ghost hunts. So when that happens, if I get a low tone, I will steer people away from there.
Mm-hmm. Those are the scazzy persons at the corner of Akashic and Karma that are going, hey, Sid, there's another one we can mess with. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do that. They do. They do. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay. All right. What do we got going on in the chat room over here? We got so much. You're excited. Julia's excited to catch it live. We look beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Candace. Let's see. You have that wrote in glass too. What does that mean?
That's the cup I was drinking.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Now, Dave wants to know about limbo. What are your thoughts on limbo?
My back can't handle it anymore. I used to be able to dance it. Other than that, what is he talking about? Purgatory?
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm thinking. Limbo, purgatory. He's from Australia, so it's probably that's how they say it.
Okay. To me, well, we're not going to know until we get up there. Just, dude, know that. As far as I can see, though, that's probably when you're doing your healing work. I don't see limbo per se. God just doesn't hang you out there, on a line with a clothespin. My understanding is when we cross over, go see Defending Your Life. It is a movie that was very close. We basically have to relive our life. And we feel all of the wonderful things that we did for other people. And we also feel the awful things and the lies and the cheating and the hate. That's hell. Because we have to experience it the way we threw it on others and how they felt with it. And then that's all that hell is. Then you get to decide, do you want to come back down? Do you want to rest? Do you want to do work up there? It depends on what your soul is interested in learning. And remember, we're just the coat, we're the personality, we're the part that they play. The example that I use, most people know Doctor Who. Matt Smith was my doctor. The dude with the bow tie. Loved him. Now, but Matt Smith was the actor. He leaves Doctor Who, and then he goes and plays skeevy Prince Philip in The Crown. Nothing like the 11th Doctor.
I know.
So think of the 11th Doctor and Prince Philip as incarnations. Matt's the soul. The two incarnations may be nothing alike because they're learning different things. Okay?
Makes sense.
I use allegory and examples a lot because people can see those. People can understand a little better that way.
Exactly. That's what I love. You guys, you can go watch her video. She has, podcasts and whatnot, and you watch them. You'll learn a ton from her. She's not hiding anything from anybody. She wants the information out there. She wants to help you. And she is. See how personable she is. She's like talking to one of your.
And she doesn't talk up here. She talks
no
down
kids.
The rest of us.
No, I'm very New York, and trust me, I don't talk to you like my aura don't stink. Okay, we all do this together.
Oh, speaking of auras, what do you think of the aura, the colors and the auras and such?
They change. Kirlian photography shows that they change. Right? When someone has the blues, you're going to see their aura change. When somebody is really razzle dazzle, the aura will probably expand and change. Seeing auras is not one of the gifts I have, though I know we've got them. And I can play with the energy. If you ever want to just play with the energy ball in your hand, really imagine it there, you're going to feel it, guys.
Yeah,
You
Mhm.
really will.
I
Remember,
tell everybody,
you can do
love it
what we do. You
and see,
can.
yeah, and see where that energy ball is. So I always do that. It's like mine's way out here.
Yep.
That's like chi too. That's when you in Tai Chi, that's how they move that plant from across the room. Is they make that energy ball and they throw it. And a lot
Exactly.
of and a lot. There's your two hearts from
No,
Bob.
it's one for me and one for you. He's getting smart now. He doesn't want you to be mad.
After you smeared my camera,
Sorry.
okay, yeah, you better give me a couple
Yes, I
bites.
will.
No. Sorry, Corbie.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
Kobe.
This just happens to be one of these shows. I don't know. I'm still tired from my trip.
Relax.
Yeah, I am. But the auras and stuff. I always wanted to get one of those cameras because I'd be curious to see how they worked. But then I was looking into them, and they're expensive. They're a good little chunk of
Big
change.
buckaroos. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But they will. Good ones will also show you your spirit guides around you, and
Oh,
that's
no.
fun.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be the real expensive one. Candace, I see auras when doing Reiki sessions. Well, when I'm getting massaged or getting Reiki done to me, I'll see if it's done really well, I'll see the blues and the purples.
Mhm.
And then I know it's good. And then it's like, please don't stop, like ever. Oh,
Energy can make
Energy
anything
can make
happen.
anything happen. Amen, Miss Julie. You got that right.
that's very true. I like your profile picture, Julia. That's really nice. Yeah, very pretty. Oh, what was Darian? Hold on. Okay, she was a guest on our show before. In high school, I was voted the most likely to confess to a crime I hadn't committed. I always thought it was because of the way I was raised, but maybe it's from a past life experience. Hadn't thought of that.
It might be, but it doesn't mean that you committed a crime. It could mean that in other lives you always felt the need to cover up for your friends. It could mean that you were afraid to be blamed, so you fessed up first. There are all kinds of reasons that could occur. That's why when I do soul plan readings, I literally am at the desk at 8 in the morning and I'm going to talk to you at 8 o'clock Eastern. 12 hours of work, checking the numerology that you came in with, doing the deep trance meditation, as few as 2, sometimes as many as 10 past lives in detail when you show me your life challenge. Because in Robert Schwartz's books, it wasn't just, well, tell me stuff. It was, I deal with poverty, physical illness, parenting handicapped children, death of a loved one, suicidal ideation, homosexuality. And these were massive life challenges for these people, and they wanted to know why it happened in their life. So each of those chapters, there was 40 hours of psychic work by the various psychics that Rob used to come up with the story that explains the life challenge.
That's an incredible amount of work. That's dedication.
I want that book.
Yeah. Oh, you can get it. You can get it. Do I have it with me? No, it's over there. But it's Your Soul's Plan and Your Soul's Gift. I like Plan best because that's the first book. And it talks about 5 things. Karma is not carrot and stick. That's the very kindergarten way of looking at it. Karma is unbalanced energy, which is a neutral, service, healing, contrast. You want to learn about abundance, you have to be both rich and poor, and healing of beliefs, which we actually cover in the 5th book. In the 2nd book, we only have the first 4 in Your Soul's Plan.
Wow.
But when you realize all of the stuff that's happened to you isn't because God wanted to kick your can down the road, you really do become a courageous soul. You realize how you can work with this and make your life better and pass on your knowledge to other people.
Chris Ann says they were great books.
Thank you, Chris Ann.
Yeah, she's a love bug. I love her. I would love a reading on past lives. I know at least 3 human and multiple animal, but would love to hear more about them. Now, okay, can you do animal past lives? Can you see them? And aliens?
Okay. It's funny. Aliens, yes. Animals, no.
Okay.
I'm not sure that I don't know if it's transmogrify. I'm not sure that I can ever look at you and say, yes, when you were a hippopotamus. I do. I told you I was funny. You're just going to have to deal with it.
So long as I'm not a skunk, we're good.
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew.
So we're all laughing. Yeah. Just anyway. I think that we stay in, if you will, bipedal bodies. Aliens, though, yes, you could do that. I believe that we stay, if you will, the top of the food chain people wherever we go. So if the alien on a planet, everybody was a fox, then yes, I could read you as a fox because that's how you incarnated there. But if you think that you came in as a hippopotamus, a rabbit, and a Mustang on Chincoteague, as well as that, I don't get those. Nobody died and made me God, so you could be right, but I don't get those.
Right.
I get.
Well, everyone has their gifts. I mean, they really. Like I've had
they're-
people that talk to the animals, supposedly.
Talking to the animals, yes.
Yeah,
That-
and I
yes.
have the cards and everything. They walk beside you, all those cards and things like
Mhm.
that. What the animals are saying and what they're feeling. And I think as animal lovers, we know what our pets are saying,
Yes.
and we definitely communicate with them. No doubt about it. So I'm not saying that that's not a gift because everyone has a different gift. Just because
Yes.
you can't do it doesn't mean someone else.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if you're talking about that, wait. Got to
Okay.
run over to my library, see if it's here.
Okay. I know,
Um,
I was like going, didn't I have those? Yeah, right here.
Yep.
Yeah. We walk beside you cards. Right here.
what I was going to show you is the deck that just won Best New Product of the Year for 2020 at the Visionary Awards.
Oh.
That is my buddy's book,
I have them.
Bernadette
Oh.
Carter King, the Arc, Animal Tarot, and Oracle deck. This freaking rocks.
We just did that last week. Me and Mama were pulling some cards for some people because I used to do tarot a long time ago, and then it's like it kind of wasn't my thing. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I liked it, just a few people, not to do not like you. You know what I mean? Because it's like that is your thing. This is the things that you do. Yeah, there you go. She's got it.
Bernadette. She was working on that for years and years and years. She's put so much love and passion into that. Amazing.
I tried to get her on my show, but she's so busy with everything else. She said not at the moment. So I'm like, okay, hopefully.
Later. I do use other cards though besides tarot. I have half a dozen Oracle decks that I use. And each one of them tells me what they want for it. Now, the new deck that I have that I love is Wisdom of Lord Ganesha.
Oh, so very,
it's all Ganesh. Now, I love Ganesh. Ganesh is the Indian god, the Lord of Obstacles. He's so popular in India. If you've never heard of him, here's the American example. In Philly, all the little Italian-American grandmothers have a statue of the Virgin Mary on the back with the roses. That's Ganesh in India.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And
everybody's got it. There's a book all about the, your auras and everything else. And there's always a picture of each one individual. So it will be that. It will be the Ganesh with maybe the lotus blossom or maybe the, canisters of holding staffs and different things, whatever the different things that it means. So, they're all individualized, but it's always the same deity.
Yes, that's
so
his.
Those are awesome cards.
They're just gorgeous. What else? This one is the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. And guys, these are not your ootsy cutesy fairies. These march inside your head, rip up the floor tiles, and give you homework. That's the deck that I use for people who are serious about wanting to know how to get out of their own way.
I just got these. I did Amy Brown, the fairy.
Yes. Oh, Amy Brown's stuff is lovely.
Oh, I love it. And then I got just animal spirits because I'm about the animals. And then I have my regular tarot, like mythical tarot. I think you need them to speak to you. Now, when you're giving a reading, so someone comes in, I come in, I don't know you. And I'm going to come in and I want, a card reading. Are you going to, are you asking me which deck, or are you just pulling out the decks and you're
No,
just gonna
if you
pull some from each deck?
what I will do is when you sit down with me, I'll look at you and say, what is the most important thing you want to walk out of here knowing? And if you go blank on me, I'll go Brooklyn on you and go, darling, what's biting your butt? Because everybody will know what that is. Now, why do I do that? Because if you're with me for half an hour, I don't care how fast I am, and I'm fast. I cannot do your entire life for you in a half an hour. I could maybe get this far if what you wanted to know was over here. You'd leave and say, oh, she was terrible. She didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, you got to ask questions.
Isn't that
No, I
Right.
love it. I
So
love
if
it.
you
Well,
come in,
just tell me
for
what it
instance,
is, it's like,
and say, does Bruce love me? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go for tarot. And it'll be 5 cards. You, Bruce, the relationship, what you need to know, and best possible outcome.
okay.
If you still say, I don't know, I'll do 3 for 3. First 3 cards, status quo, you do nothing. Second 3 cards, it's a come to Jesus meeting, you have a serious talk. Last 3, hostile, bye-bye. It's been nice, I'll send you a postcard. You leave. I will not tell you which one to do. I don't care if one pile is screaming at me over here. If you choose another pile, I have to zip it because I'm not here to run your life. I'm here to show you your options.
Mhm.
Now, do you record your sessions?
Always. I talk too fast. If you don't have it recorded, you'll never remember everything. And if you're taking notes, you're not listening.
Oh, yeah.
What I do
That
when
is
we
so
have a
true.
session, right? When we have a session like this, I have GarageBand. So I record it that way, download it as an MP3, and send it to you with my upload service so you can get it right on your computer.
I like that.
Awesome. That's fabulous because that means a lot. I went to a psychic with a friend of mine. Awesome psychic. I don't know if you know him, Gary McKinstry.
Heard of, never met.
Yeah. He's from Douglas, Mass. He's so down to earth. He's like you know what I mean? Very down to earth, but he's a real straight shooter. And I went with my girlfriend. And I walked in the door, and my husband had passed away not too long before that. He was very large in life, very, very, and never alone. So he just looked at me and he was just like, oh my God, you have like a posse with you. You know what I mean? Because Mark and all his cronies. So he had to start with me. But he recorded all this, and it was like, thank God he did, because I was like thrown off because I'm there for her. And then all of a sudden I'm like putting this like, holy
I know.
crap.
I know, but that happens. I am truly in awe of people that can just pull it in like that. When I do my mediumship, I do it a little differently. I go for the dog tags. For instance, my father, Jerome Richard Dorkin, who died in 2001 at the age of 80, doesn't tell me anything about it, but gets me right into the energy. And I will immediately start. If they're there, I'll tell you everything I'm getting. And my favorite story, which I will try to clean up, was in Canastota, New York, years ago. Was at a small psychic fair. There was a biracial same-gender couple. The black partner had died, and her white widow wanted to speak with her. Now, I grew up a nice kid in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I have manners. But what comes floating out of my mouth in flawless urban ebonics is, well, shit, if it ain't my... which I will not say on the air, would not come out of this mouth voluntarily. And I'm going, oh my God. And the woman in front of me is doing the davening and laughing and crying. And that's Isabel. It's how her partner walked into the house after business trips every single day.
That is
Okay.
that's what it is.
But that's why I don't do mediumship publicly.
Yeah, that's how Gary got me, though. What he said about my husband, why I knew it was him, was, I'm a decorator, right? I was a designer, an interior designer, decorator, muralist, faux painter, everything. So I designed my whole house. I faux painted everything, murals everywhere. We built, actually going to school, my final project was an addition I put on my house. And, big vaulted ceilings and big fireplace and everything. He said, please, can we just keep this room beige? I put a border in there and stuff, but can we just keep this room normal? So after he died, I faux painted that whole thing like in a weekend. And it's 20 by 20 and 16 feet high. It's a lot of wall space.
Yeah.
Right? So I did it all in a weekend, craziness. And they're all done, I mean, damn if I didn't throw that room right into Italy. Okay. And then, and Gary McKinstry sits down and he goes, well, he's sitting here and he's stretching out, because he used to do this all the time on the beach. He'd stretch out and stretch. He always had his bare feet, and he'd stretch, and he could stretch his toes and separate his toes. He goes, he's doing this. And then he goes, puts his hands on thighs and looks at me and goes, "You girlied up my living room." I was just like, "Oh,
That isn't, he's handing you a rose, he loves you. That's the real deal, which I
Yeah.
adore.
yep." I was like, "Okay, all right." So from that moment on, I knew it. I knew it. So that's what I trust. So I've had him on the show. I trust him. I know, he's good. I know, and I know you're good, and that is why you're here. And you are the real deal. And I like how you are very straightforward. I mean, most of my friends, a lot of my friends are from New York, so I'm used to that. It is what it is.
Exactly. But I'm not the city. I'm 45 minutes west of Albany in Schoharie County. That's 32,000 people and a bunch of cows and sheep. It is a different life, let me tell you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, she's up in Canada, so she's
Oh, there you go.
She's and now I'm down in Philly.
I'm in
I was
Hampshire.
in Mass. Yeah, I was in Massachusetts, but like a lot of my friends and Chris, my old partner, psychic from Staten Island. He's a lot like you,
Oh, yeah.
and multi decks and everything, crazy, very fast. Like you too. But he would say the same things. If you're gonna come to me, don't just say, "Well, what do you see in my future?" Is everything going to be okay? What about, am I going to maybe change my job? I mean, if that's really your issue, you know what I mean, then ask it. But, know what you want to know. Know what you want to know before you go.
And don't do yes or no questions. If you come to me and say, I'm opening up a consignment shop, am I going to be successful? I will look at you and say, and what if I said, no, you're going to lose everything and live in a box under a bridge? It's the wrong question. You ask, how do I make it rock? And then it's a card for you, a card for the energy around the business, the brick and mortar location, how to market it, clients, competition, staff, finances, what you need to know, and very possible outcomes. That gives you the rocket pack on your back to go do things. Because when you look to a psychic to just give you yes or no answers, that sets you up for what I call the Madam Hoo-Ha's and the Swami Swalandas. You want to go, oh no, I'm sorry, it'll be very bad. You have a family curse. How many in your family? Or a dog, $50 every 5 minutes, and 25 for dog he smoke. We fix for you. Please.
You need a babushka.
You need to have a
Yes.
show with that.
Yes.
You weren't kidding about the accents and the.
No, I really, you never know what's going to come out of the mouth. When I was an executive recruiter, my boss got me a shirt because she knew that I did accents, but the shirt said, "You're just jealous that the voices talk to me," and she thought it was funny. She didn't know what I did. And I love that shirt and wore it to death.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I've got so many of them from all our events and around. The people send them to me and stuff. Yeah, Bob was just wearing I talked to dead people the other day that we get from down in Gettysburg. All that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's fun things. But let me ask you this though. On doing the past life things, what is how many is the most past lives that one person for you that you've had as a client had?
The most that I ever got for them. I don't go to see how many you have. It's not a competition.
Yeah, no.
The most that I had was 10 that affected a very serious situation in their lives. Normally, I'll pick up 2 to 4, but it's not just a sentence or two. They're past lives that fill a full page. If you go onto my website, you'll see at the top menu, past lives, and you'll see Corbie's Wayback Machine, and you'll get examples of the kind of stuff that I get. It is detailed. But again, that's why Spirit uses me. Somebody else might say, I see you in a long dress and a big hat, so I know it's old-fashioned somewhere. I'm going to say, okay, a hobble skirt, picture hat, that kind of an ostrich feather. We're talking 1911, 1912, and probably in Berlin. Which one's going to be more useful?
So.
Yeah, totally.
I think I have to make an appointment with Corbie.
I know. I would
come on. Wait a minute. I'm really bad at coming up with questions. Like you said, you need to, like, what's your issue? I just want to know. I just so I can never come up with a question or an issue. So I'm gonna have to come up with something first before I come. I want you to kick my butt.
That's why I wrote this.
Yep.
The Psychic Yellow Brick Road, the subtitle is How to Find the Real Wizards and Avoid the Flying Monkeys, is Some people really want psychic guidance, but they don't want to have to learn to do it themselves. That's cool.
Mhm.
But in this book, it's which questions to ask, which you shouldn't ask, which if the psychic tries to deal with, run, so that you can get the best out of the session. I mean, if you buy this book and never come to see me, but go to somebody else, I'm cool with that. Because if you have a good experience with that psychic, all boats rise. All of
Yeah.
us will get more respect.
Totally.
Can,
Yeah.
can,
When you
can,
have
hold on a
a
second.
bad thing,
Can we
it's
get
not
that book
bad.
on Amazon?
Amazon,
Okay,
Kindle or
so-
paperback. Yes.
I'm going to look at paperback because I have a certain lady on my show on the 28th, and I think I'm going to go with that book.
Okay.
I know, bad.
Would that be her?
That would be Corbie.
Ah, how
She's
nice.
going to be on a conversation with friends on Sunday.
Oh,
Yep.
beautiful. Beautiful.
June the 28th. Okay, enough plugging.
Future show, future
Done.
show on Sunday.
I'm only here so I can get good information for much.
Well, we always get more questions after the show.
Yes.
So you can always
course.
bring those over and say, hey, we had this kind of feedback, that kind of feedback, and
This is part two.
what are your thoughts of this? So
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, you could have her on every night of the week, and it'd be something different to talk
I
about.
know.
So-
You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to
What?
do a reading show with Corbie.
Oh, they're fun.
they
They're a
are.
lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
I do
they take the
a
whole thing.
once a month free reading for an hour on my Fire Through Spirit Facebook page. And
Oh,
we
nice.
go like this. Boom,
Yep.
boom, boom. It's the rules are I need your name, your birth date, where you're from, and it's a question. The two things I don't do health and I don't do mediumship. But all the rest of the stuff is on the table and we make it work fast. In an hour, I can usually do 30 to 40 people if
Oh, that
they
would
pay
be
attention.
fun. Gina,
Sure.
Yeah, that's
we can
awesome.
make that work.
Doris says, I love Corbie's honesty and energy. I feel sometimes I have done something before in a different,
Probably in a different life.
yeah, okay.
Hmm.
All right. This was the other question I wanted to put up here. All right, Darian, do past lives tend to be lived in the same general areas?
Now, that could either be geographical areas or things you want to learn. Okay. And what was her name?
Darian.
Darian. Hi, Darian. It depends. I incarnated into Germany 2 lives ago because this soul tends to want to incarnate, if you will, on the losing side where things change. I was a Yorkist in the Wars of the Roses. I was a German in World War I. And look at what's happening now. Not that I think we are necessarily going to lose, but the world has to change. Normalcy is what is losing because we
Mhm.
have to make something new. So to me, this feels absolutely normal. But a lot of time I have been in the US. I was a Union doctor in the Civil War. The life just before this one, I was an Italian American in Chicago. Died in 1949, and then I came in here in 55. So yes, you can choose. If you have a great deal of love for Korea, and your name is Annie McGillicuddy, then it could be that you have a lot of Asian energy because that's where you needed to learn things. Cultures are different. What I can do in America, I couldn't do if I lived in China or Japan right now. So the soul said, this is where
Yeah.
we're going to be.
Mm.
So yes, you'll choose areas depending on what you want to learn.
Okay. Now I got a question. Now, all right, so past lives
Nope.
in general.
Hold on a second. Candace just bought your book, Corbie.
Beautiful.
Mwah! Thank you, Candace.
Yay. We're going to be talking about her latest, too, book here soon. But, all right, past lives, though, in general. Geez, now I just lost my question.
Sorry.
God!
I'm bad.
What
I'm
did I
bad
have
like that.
Alzheimer's in my last life? Yeah, no, gone.
Okay. And then I have a question. Corbie, in this life, you are, in my words, a healer. You do a whole bunch of stuff to help a lot of people heal. Were you a healer in past lives in different ways? Does that part carry you?
Well, like I said, I was a Union doctor in the Civil War. Terrible bedside manner, but I could keep you alive. I past that, I don't know. If you look at the Michael channelings, this is not the Archangel Michael, this is the causal entity. And I believe that there are 7 roles that we play. You can be a king, a warrior, and a sage, and an artisan, and a priest, and a server, and a scholar. Scholar is neutral. This soul tends to go into priest energy. Even when I was head of a squadron in World War I, people would come into me and say, Herr Leutnant, can I speak with you? And they just lay things out. And I'm a good teacher, and I'm a good guide. So healing that way, yes. Interestingly, I was born into a total medical family, and I fainted blood. But I know why doctors terrify me, and that's because how did I leave in the last life? Slept with my husband's best friend, had a child, which was stillborn, confessed. This was in a Catholic-run hospital in Chicago in the late 40s. And the nuns decided that God had taken the poor little innocent soul to his bosom. But then when I got sepsis, childbed fever, they said that's the will of God. And they let me die in pain, filth, and agony, thinking that was what God decided for me. So I came in and I knew at age 13 I was not having children. And I've been terrified of hospitals and being out of control and letting people do things to me. I know where it's from.
Wow.
It doesn't help. But of course, I've done the cancer dance 3 times in this life, so I've had to learn to deal with it.
Oof. Oof. So totally gone? Everything is good?
Oh yeah. Clean since 04. We're good.
Oh, beautiful. Ah, thank you. Thank you, God. Yeah, see, you're here. You're here for specific reasons. I remembered what it was. I was gonna say, like, okay, so past lives as an in general thing. Now, is it, I mean, everyone wants to put these labels on it, like reincarnation, and or is it karma or dharma? Because you made this mistake in the past, you're doomed to repeat until you get it right, and then is your life over? Like all these things, right? All these different cultures have different realizations. Now, how do you see it, or what is shown to you?
You're not doomed. You're not doomed. All right. Remember, in a lot of my lives, I'm 80-20 male, female. I come in most of my lives as male. I do my stupid hard work as female. Most of my male lives, I'm not particularly kind to women. Women are used as a bargaining chip. Women are good for sex, things like that. So when I came into this life, by age 11, I had a Dolly Parton figure. There was an incident that happened with my mother, which is talked about a little bit in your soul's plan, but I don't need to go in here. But that basically told me that is what I was good for in this lifetime. And I had a very rocky relationship with men for decades, 2 short, bad marriages before I found my Carl. Now, I got cancer twice, breast cancer and skin cancer where the radiation was. Lumpectomies, radiation, I was still all here. But I still hadn't learned my lesson. Married Carl, but Spirit said, look, we need you down there to do some work, so we're going to remove the problem. So I got a second primary. It wasn't metastatic, second primary. But the doctors said, 3 strikes, you're out. We're taking the boobs, we're taking the ovaries, and you're going to go from this Dolly Parton figure with the libido of a 17-year-old boy to a fat fire plug with permanent side effects and the libido of a turnip. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Now, I'd only been married to Carl for a year and a half. I didn't know if I was going to be able to stay married.
Right.
But I knew what I had to do. And I went home and I cried for 24 hours. And then I said, I have to find reasons to be okay with this. I don't care how stupid they are. So I said, fine. Number 1, you don't have them. You can't get cancer there. That's good. Number 2, they're not going to get slammed in the refrigerator door at the doctor's every year. And every woman listening knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. Boob smashing day.
3, implants. I'll be perky till I'm 93. This is cool. I got out of the hospital in 3 days, shopped for a bathing suit in 5. Mass General said they hadn't seen anybody recover from a double mastectomy reconstruction that fast in 15 years.
Wow.
I still kept my sense of humor. I had a fabulous plastic surgeon. Her nickname was Madame Artiste and Doc Miracle because she was, and she made them. One of the things you do when you have a double mastectomy and reconstruction is you have the Jackson Pratt drains in for a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Well, so I named mine Harpo, Chico, Zeppo, and who was the other one?
Groucho.
Groucho.
Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and Zeppo. And so I could talk to Dr. Hurdle, and I'd say, they're all fine. Groucho's having a bit of a problem. She'd know exactly which one it was. And when you become a co-conspirator, not a patient, doctors never forget who you are.
That's true.
And that's one of the ways that I overcame my fear of doctors is when they know me and I'm funny and they love me, they will always take good care of me.
Wow.
Dr. Hurdle would come in the morning, like 6 a.m. First there were 2 residents, then 3, then 4. And then one day we stopped at 4 and I looked at her and I said, "What's with the Hurdle herd? You're missing one?" And they all just looked at me and she's collapsing on the floor. That's why there's an article on my website, Being a Co-Conspirator is Better Than Being a Patient. You have major medical stuff, you read that. You will get better health care, I am telling you. So rolling back to what you asked, yes, I'm a healer, but I'm also a healer with words and with laughter, not necessarily that stuff.
But I have no fear. I have no fear of blood or anything like that. Everyone's always come to me. I stitch myself up. I've stitched myself up plenty of times. I've set things up. I take care
God bless you, woman.
I do it all. I think the majority of my past lives, I must have been a man because I do construction. As a woman, I did construction. I just
probably you
knew how to build things. I know how to rip them apart. Definitely know how to build them back up again. And it's not like I really needed the training to do it. I just know it. So, yeah. I know that it can go definitely male, female, male, female, male, female, and like that one that I said about the marriage thing. It's crazy. Now we have I have an ad that I got to play. That's like a 3-minute. That's a sponsor ad. Okay. Right? That's paranormal stuff, and that's mine. That's me. Right. After that, I'm going to play an ad for Chris Lee, who is a clinical certified past life regression therapist.
Good.
Okay. And this is what he does. And he has these books of just like, his books are his clients and their, what they've gone through. Why were they biting their nails and why were they this and why is their neck hurt and why, all that type of stuff. He doesn't do what you do. He doesn't go into past lives as a reading. He's not a reader. He knows nothing. Okay. He's just bringing you back to try to eliminate fears, phobias, aches, pains, things like that, so you can see what it is, identify it, and get rid of the problem. And that's the thing that he does. So those will be the ads that I'm going to play since we are like 4 minutes before that. And when we get back, so I will do that now. When we get back, I want to talk about your latest book. And
wonderful.
And we'll put that up there too. So we'll be back in there's about like 4 minutes now.
The Fox Den is now proudly sponsored by Vortex Ghost Gear, one of the leading fabricators of paranormal equipment. Bob Christopher is the founder and creator of Vortex Ghost Gear. He has decades of investigating, starting with his team at NEPA, and as lead in the popular local TV show Ghost Detectives, he has experience of how spirits could be seen or heard. Using this knowledge, he has manufactured equipment for specific scenarios of spirit manifestation and communication. He is the only manufacturer of the popular lifelike trigger prop cats and dogs. Using proximity meters wired to lights and sound, these prove to be highly effective communication devices in the field of study. The HTO, another Vortex exclusive, allowing specific items to be the highlight or trigger of your investigation. For example, place the item on a metal tray or attach directly to any metal object such as keys or glasses that continue to go missing or moved. Ask the spirit to touch the item. The HTO will light. It has a sound option as well. This device was used in Travel Channel's Ghost Nation with great results. The Dome, a static detector, can be the most useful device in your gear bag. This is to back up the theory that the spirits manifest using static electricity. Using several, you can track a spirit, for example, walking down a hallway, setting off each as it passes. The geophone detects vibrations. This is another way to track movement. If a claim is footsteps in the hallway or stairwell, set the sensitivity and place the device in that area. Its band of lights will show a range of vibrations from the slightest tapping, lighting only a few lights, to the loudest thumping, lighting the entire range. The Easy Scan Ghost Boxes are very popular due to the ease of use. They are custom decorated to the individual or team using them. Bob programs and uses an Arduino-based computer scanning FM waves to potentially communicate with the spirit realm in real time. Every box is unique and all custom hand decorated by Gina Bankston. The V-Pod has a special place for those who love the idea of REM pods. Use this sleeker, smaller, easier to transport device. It is a must-have in your gear bag. Take your investigating to the next level with many of Vortex Ghost Gear's unique and custom creations by Bob Christopher. Visit www.vortexghostgear.com to view all the products and get your equipment today. You can also investigate with Bob and Gina with ghostly excursions, taking people to some of the most haunted locations in the USA. Visit www.ghostlyexcursions.com and join us on our next adventure. Chris Lee is a clinical hypnotherapist specializing in his system of past life therapy, which eliminates people's persistent aches and pains, fears and phobias, and debilitating emotions without prescriptions, medicine, unnecessary operations, nor ongoing therapy. His Life in the Past Lane series of books include Life in the Past Lane, Fears and Phobias, Aches and Pains, and his latest, Crimes Against Humanity, and there are 2 more in the works. They are client true stories and testimonials of how a system works for people. And he also teaches you how to do his system as well. Contact him for more information and or book a Skype session with him. He currently has a special running through the end of June, which is buy 1 book for $10, 2 books for $15, 3 books for $20, or get all 4 books for $25 plus his CD entitled Relaxation Plus, which is a $10 value. You can contact him at www.pastliferap.com or email him at cl@pastliferap.com.
And we're back.
Okay.
Now, let's talk. Oh, Mama left. Mama hit the wrong button. She'll be back.
Oop.
All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about this book here. All right, you've got the Magic Who Needs a Genie. There's the A-Lister's Guide to Holistic Expo Success.
Yes.
There she is. Oh, she's trying to come in. Well, she's been having power issues. So
It's the season. It's the season.
Hopefully, there she is. There she is.
Okay.
All right, so tell us about this book and what is being an A-lister.
All right. The whole key is, if you look at an A-lister in Hollywood, who's an A-lister? Brad Pitt,
Oh, yes.
George Clooney, hopefully the fabulous Taron Egerton, who played Elton John in Rocket Man. Oh my God, that talent. Joaquin Phoenix. Those are the ones that the studios always go to. They get the first, the perennial A-lister, Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
B-listers are the ones you see on Celebrity Big Brother. Okay. They want to be famous, but David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff.
Oh, David.
So what's an A-lister at a holistic expo? We're the ones that people know by rep.
Right.
Even if the show is bad, we're the ones that'll make it out with at least our costs covered, if not a little extra. I started full-time psychic work 9/11. I knew that I needed to come out, do what I did because the world needed other answers. Evenings and weekends, I did it while I was still working for the executive recruiting company. Once after a year, I knew I could make it work. I never looked back. But I worked 6 days a week on the road, 40, 45 weekends a year, coast to coast into Canada. My friends nicknamed me the Travel Channel because I was traveling all the time. But it got me exactly what I wanted. It got me solid clientele, a wonderful rep. I was always invited by promoters because they knew that I was a professional. It got me radio and television gigs and the book with Rob and all of that.
Right.
And now that we're all dealing with what I cheerfully call the big bug adventure, I haven't lost my career because I'm stuck at home.
Yeah.
It had already morphed online. And Spirit kind of gave me the shot across the bow. Last year, herniated disc, pinched nerves. Honey, it makes childbirth look like a tea party. Agony. And the I'm okay now, relatively. But the doctor said your traveling days are done. You cannot do the load in, the load out. You cannot spend more than 2 hours in the car. And I used to travel 10. So that's why I said, I've got all this knowledge.
9 hours
I
driving.
have to pass it on.
Yeah.
Because also, since I had been in the business world, I know how to go on both mountains, the metaphysical and business.
Mm-hmm.
So this explains how to do what I did. How to choose your shows, how to design your booth, how you should dress, how to choose a front person, how to do your networking, how to stay professional, how to talk to your clients, the peripherals, webinars, private parties, corporate gigs, workshops. And it's all in this book because there is no reason in the world why I should have this knowledge and you shouldn't. One of the things people always told me, which drove me nuts, is, I can't believe you're sharing this. I'd go, why?
Why?
Because
Yeah.
most people don't share that sort of thing. And I said, I don't care how good you are. You're not me.
Right.
So you can be good and the right people will come to you and the right people will come to me. People who look at my cards and go, they're scary. I want the angel cards, please. They're not going to come to me. No. If you want a straight shooter, if you are okay with laughing, if you want fast information and good practical answers, that's me.
Good, hard, fast. Yes.
Right.
Bring
Right.
it.
If you just want to sit in front of somebody and say nothing and they just hold your hands and going, oh, all right, this is all I see. And they just blarg whatever they see with no direction. Those are other people.
Yep.
Don't sit with me and then just go, well, I don't know, tell me anything. And, like this. That's like trying to climb Everest in sneakers, kids. There's no grip. So no, I'm not your reader.
Yeah.
Ish, Chris Ann, Ish. You've Got the Magic is only available on Kindle right now. We are finishing up the stuff so that it will be a print on demand through KDP.
Oh, okay.
So yes, but it's going to take us probably another month. Hang in there. Hang in there.
It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, whatever book of mine you buy, I'm going to tell you right now, please leave a review on Amazon. Especially when you're self-published the way I am. If you don't have at least 50 reviews, they leave your book on the back shelf behind the pickles and nobody sees it.
Right.
So
I think you're getting too close to the microphone. I'm getting echo.
me?
No, Mama.
Oh, okay.
She's got the killer microphones.
Got it.
Picks up everything.
No. So that's why I wrote You've Got the Magic.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of bad psychics. There are lots of shoddy people at those booths. And if people are going to spend their money, they're going to want someone who looks professional, who looks confident without being cocky, and who is genuinely glad to see them and glad to work with them.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
that's
love
what that
how you
book-
walk when you go into shows, into events. I've only been to a couple, and I love how when you have some of them who sit back there and go, oh, you want a reading? Okay, sure. Oh, dude, that's just like, give me some life. I want you to be able to read me, see me.
But when you go to the psychic fair, I mean, you should walk the track, walk around, See how
Yes,
they're representing, like she said, her booth,
that's
how
the
the
first thing.
booth looks,
Do your walkies. You
Yeah,
got to be, I
yeah,
use the example, you got to be good puppies.
yeah.
Number one,
That's
you do
monkeys.
your walkies. Number two, you get paper trained. Now, what's paper trained? Paper trained is we will all have things at our booth. Hang on. Ugh, let me pull one. Things like this, rack cards.
Yes.
Collect them
Ooh,
from
Yeah.
anybody who looks good.
Yeah.
Read them through. There will be 2 or 3 of us that you like. Go back and talk to us. But remember, we can say we're wonderful and that doesn't count. And we hire our front people to say they love us. My
Mhm.
first person was the magnificent Laura Spickerman, who at that point was also my husband's office manager Monday through Friday. You think she was going to dismiss his museum director? I don't think so.
no.
What you want to do is you want to go to our testimonial books. We all have them.
Right.
Because in there, you find out, are we good? Are we funny? Are we kind? Do we have specialties? Children, dogs, dead people? Do people come back? But the last thing is, guys, check in here. You are putting your hard-earned money on the table. If the psychic doesn't feel like they have a brain in their head, they really give a damn about what they're doing, or they're
Mhm.
going to give you good information, don't go there no matter how cool the wiki woo looks on the table. And if nobody rings your chimes at the fair, leave without a reading. It's
Yeah.
not your only time. Swear to God.
Exactly, because there are a lot of good psychics, but I mean they're every day they're popping up here and there, and they're
Mhm.
throwing out their signs and they're hanging their shingles here and there, and it's like, oh, and they're all the gloom and doom, and they're all that ones like you were saying with the curse, do the accent. You've
But
got
I
to
don't
say
care
it
how
when you
good
say
you
it.
are. If
Like,
you show up in a t-shirt or a sweatshirt with a puffy glitter unicorn and jeans and a hand-lettered sign, and you're next to me,
nope.
they come
You're
to
get-
me.
Yeah.
you're getting the business, but no, but too, everyone, you got to trust your gut. Your
Yeah.
instinct. It's like, everyone, you go into a store, you look at the
Mhm.
furniture, you
Hmm.
see something you like, yet you got to look around anyway,
Just in
just
case.
in case.
Just in case.
But what do? You get that first thing that you looked at that you fell in love with. Same thing, psychic fair. You're gonna walk around. You're gonna have this connection. Like look at the eye contact. The
Yes.
confidence exudes. It does.
Mhm.
It comes out. So you get that eye contact. Yeah, pick up your reading materials and do your job. Because you're paying for these readings, you would like to get a good one. You know.
Yes.
So yeah, don't waste your time. And don't be afraid to out the bad ones. All right, because I'll do it. I'll out people. I will. I am sorry. I'll be like, why are you going there? Why because people,
Now that I will not do.
the
That I
sheep
will
will,
not do.
yeah, you won't because that's your profession. I will because those could be some of my friends. You know what I mean? And they're
Okay.
getting led down the wrong path. And
The
I'll be
way
like, no,
the
no.
way I do it, number one, I will not recommend a psychic I haven't had a reading from. Just won't. Also, were a couple of incidents where, yes, we came down hard. There was one psychic, he's now dead, who used to tell young women that he was their master in a past life and the slave contract was still, oh no, you're out. Because it scared them so badly.
But this is the thing: the people they believe this stuff, and they're going to change
Exactly.
their life path because of it.
Exactly.
And then that's the other thing that's a pet peeve of mine, and I don't know if it is of yours too. Like
Which,
people cannot live their lives psychically. A psychic will say what they see and whatnot. It's like a suggestion. It's like a nudge in the right direction, but they're not saying you have to do this or you have to do that.
that's why
No.
you have a disclaimer, my darling. And I have my disclaimer printed in there. It keeps you safe.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I gave you already my 85% rule. Did I?
No, no.
No.
Even the best psychic is only 85% accurate. The only one 100% accurate is God, and he's not doing phone readings this week.
But very true.
Excuse me. I love you.
Hang on.
Michael says they will out themselves most of the time.
Michael, you're right. We
they-
don't need to do that.
Yeah. He's
Um,
a shaman. He's really cool. He does like astral projections, and he's a really cool dude. If you haven't met Michael Corbie Michael. He's the subject of that book right there. Ruin
Oh, fun.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
At the same time, if I know you're good, I have a mouth on me. You saw how I talked about my buddy Bernadette.
Yeah.
Brilliant
Yes,
medium.
Yeah.
she
Um,
is.
Stacy Wells, who worked with me on Your Soul's Plan, the best medical intuitive in the United States. Brilliant, fabulous work.
Tell her to
Um,
contact me. Let's get her on the show.
you should. She can literally look into your DNA. When I had the microcalcifications on my mammogram in '04, I went to 5 of the best. 4 said, no, it's nothing. You're fine. She said, sorry, kids, it's cancer. It's there, and this is what you're going to have done. So swear by her. Swear by her.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying about all the people with the different gifts. We need
Yep.
the different gifts,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. When you're going to the psychic fairs, or when you're picking a psychic, and when you do want to get a reading, what is it that you're going for? Like, is it a past life thing? Is it a phobia? Is it a fear? Is it a whatever? What is
You
it?
gotta know what
Is it
you want to
medical?
know.
Yeah, is it medical? Then you want to go like she's saying, that's the medical person to go to. Get to know. You just
Yes.
do your research. My this is funny. I have to put this up. His disclaimer is Batman will kick your ass. Right? He says, because he comes in at night. He does astral projection. He sends his guides in. He clears out, bad things from locations. And so we call him Batman.
Gotcha. That's
So,
very funny.
it is. It is. He's a hoot, I'll tell you. Yeah, but, what was the other thing I wanted to ask you? Oh, yeah, about past lives. Do you think I know that there are times that a life is done, it's done, right? And you're done. You're not going to come back again. But do you think if you were like traumatically cut off in this life, murdered, car crash, or anything like that, that kind of catapults you into another life because you just weren't done?
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. You can come back fast if you want to, or you can say, I'm done for a while. I need to sit up. Remember, it isn't you. You're the part, you're the acting. The soul, your core, makes that decision. And if they want to chew on what you learned for a while, they don't have to come back down. And this is how I explain all the Christians who say, God says I only have one life and then they go to heaven, and you say I have past lives. Which one is lying? I say, neither one of us. Because this soul has had life after life after life. Corbie gets one shot. Corbie will never be back here again. So that's how you have both. And they go, tilt. That there can be
She should have been on it.
truth in both.
As I'm doing that.
We should have had Corbie on a few weeks back.
Oh my God! Yes, we had Dr. Battle on. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Deliverance.
that was
Is that what it's called? The exorcisms, deliverance. What do we call them? I don't know. Oh my God! Yeah.
So that I usually do this.
Yeah, we're all in the paranormal. We're all going to hell.
yeah.
Basically.
And then Gina has to do the commercial for
Vortex
for mom.
Look,
and
when
Vortex.
that happens, I have 2 magic phrases, and they're mine, but everybody out there can use them. When somebody is determined that you're wrong, that you're bad, that, and you just don't know, you just smile at them and go, thank you for sharing. You may think that if you wish. And then off you go.
Yeah.
That's the northern New York version of bless your heart.
Oh, I like that one.
And I lived in Atlanta, so I know what bless your heart is.
That's true.
Well, I just came back from West Virginia, so yeah, bless your heart. And that's there's 2 ways to say that. There's the good way,
Right.
where they really mean it.
And then always give yourself, when you're working with a client, one phrase that you will use to signal to yourself, I'm really done here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mine is blessings on your journey. I ever say that to you, you toast. You just are.
Okay,
How you done?
okay,
We cut it right there. Oh my God. That is so funny. So all right, so tell people. All right, Mike is gonna go work. All right, ciao, Mike. Nice that you dropped in. Thank you very much. Everybody that's popping in and out, please share the video. Please share. We want to get Corbie's stuff out there, and more exposure the better. So
Yes.
yeah, how can people get in touch with you? Like, how do you get readings from you?
Oh,
And
good Lord, you can't avoid me. It's Fire Through Spirit on Facebook, Corbie Mitleid on Instagram, Corbie Mitleid on Twitter. Um, but and I have a Corbie Mitleid channel on YouTube now. The best place if you want a reading is CorbieMitleid.com.
Mhm.
You'll see at the top line, request an appointment, but I'm going to tell you a secret. Always scroll down and you'll see a button that says special offers. Always check there first to see if I've got a special going on, because why should you pay full price if you do that due diligence, you may find you can save something. For instance, this summer, half-hour readings are 80 instead of 125 because we're all a little short on cash and I want to make it accessible.
for our bump,
And there's also discounts on finding your North Star readings and Sense Passion consultations. Because when we are realigning and reinventing ourselves, those are what's important. Guys, I have to tell you, I know soul plane readings sound so cool, but they are freaking expensive because you get 12 hours of my time and they're luxuries. You don't need them.
right.
Go
Now
for practical. Spend as little money with me as possible. I downsell rather than upsell.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you need it again, it's what do you need?
Mhm.
And basically, once the people want to get to know you,
Mhm.
but I think I mean, watch the show. You can know what the
Bingo. Exactly. See that? Right
word
there.
right there. Special offer.
And the books that I've written that you can find. Number one,
Special offers.
clean out your life closet. This is my self-help book, Clarity, Adaptability, Simplicity, and Making Friends with Stress. You've seen the Psychic Yellow Brick Road right there. That's to learn what you need to know to have good readings, safe readings, how not to get taken. And if you're just starting to read, it's a good primer. And then you've got the Magic Who Needs a Genie on doing holistic expos, and it's not just for psychics, it's also for healers and vendors.
Mhm.
And that right now is just on Kindle, but it will be paperback on demand within a month.
Sweet. And let's see, what else we got here? Anything else that we needed to put up over here? Anybody got a question for Corby in the chat room? Let's see. Um, you're needed here to. You are needed to be here for the path you're on now. You're a special lady. Yes.
Thank you, Candace. And I'm hoping that isn't she's so special because then I don't know about that.
All right. So
Remember,
that was up before we did
what
the.
was that, Saturday Night Live? Isn't she special?
Mhm. I think so, man.
Yeah.
It's
The news.
special.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
look what I can
But I'm
do.
sure she meant it in a nice way.
She
Oh,
did. She did.
absolutely did. She absolutely did. So, anything else up here that's relative right now? Very interesting stuff. Okay. All right. Nope. All right. Fine. Mama.
So we breezed through the chat room. Okay, so now it's me. You said there are two things that you won't do readings on,
Hmm.
and the first one was
Mediumship.
just lost that.
Because if I'm going to pay you for 12 hours, you're going to sit in my living room and talk to me. You're not getting away that easy. Chris Ann, you're adorable. But
I love her.
what I do for 12 hours, I get the past life down and it's in detail. But then what I do is I back check. For instance, if I saw you inventing the cotton gin in 421 BC, that's historically wrong. So when I
Yeah.
get a past life, I will go and I will do the historical back check to make sure that I am accurate. And yes, I see it like a movie, but it's tough to do. It really is. I am on the phone with you at the end of this for an hour, discussing all of this with you, sending you the numerology report and distilling it for you. So
Sweet.
that's why I'm not in your living room. Where were we before that?
Okay, mediumship.
Mediumship. For me, mediumship is intensely personal. I mean, I told you about what the woman said. If you need closure with someone you didn't part well with, You don't want that on stage. You don't want that on the radio. That is for you and your person, especially because I don't say, well, yes, she loves you and she wanted to tell you it's okay that she crashed the car. Oh, it's going to be from my mouth. It'll be hers.
Yeah.
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 And so I don't want you to ever feel like you have to hide your emotions. I want your shields down. I want you to take as much from that as you can. That's why I don't do mediumship. Health, A, I'm a hypochondriac, and B, I'm not as good as Stacy. Also, lawyers are salivating to sue psychics who tell you, no, you don't need that shot, or no, I don't see the cancer, or whatever. I mean, when I tell you to go to Stacy, it is because she's going to give you great information, but I would not recommend that you then go to your doctor and said, my psychic said to do this, because the doctor
I
is
know.
forget it. So I do what I'm good at.
They'll be giving
Practical answers. House, car, job, kids, finances. Okay, God, you put me here. Now what? Yes, I can do spirit guides and angels. Yes, I can do past lives. That should be enough in your toolbox to find something interesting to ask me about.
Hey, I want to show you something. I saw this in a. I was going in a guided meditation to find my spirit guides, and I saw that. Have you ever seen anything like that?
It looks like Vincent on Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, doesn't he? He does, but that's what he looked like. But what it was like you going down a tunnel and you're going into a cave, and the cave is illuminated in gold, and you're supposed to stay in the cave. But I saw this little peck of light coming through, so of course I got to go there because I'm the ever overachiever. So I have to block out that walls, and there is this field, and there's all my foxes. It's like, yeah, okay, so this is like, all right, I know this, right? But beyond them. Beyond in the field, there's this big, like a desk, like thing, like an altar, right? That thing is standing there facing the other way. I see the long hair, I see the long robes. And then, I'm thinking it's a man, just a man. And then it turned and that was its face. And it's like it didn't say anything. And I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. I just knew it. So I just kind of stayed back behind the boxes, right? And I'm like going, I don't know what to make of this. And then it's like I knew it was a higher like a being. There was a book on the altar, I could see that, but then it just looked at me, and then it just turned back to the book very calmly, and then I just snuck back into my little cave that I was supposed to be in to begin with. But that's exactly what it was like Vincent. And I'm going, it's how I had to explain it to people. I'm like, it looked like that mush lion face like on Vincent. So have you ever heard of it or seen anything like that or anything?
I haven't, but it doesn't mean it isn't absolutely accurate for you. What do lions mean to you? How do you view lions? Look at the lion on the strength card in tarot. Look at Aslan, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So when you see something like that, that's when you have to do your internal Rolodex.
Okay.
To see what it is.
Yeah, because West Boylston High, that's where I was. I went to school, high school. That was our mascot. I was the lions. I drew because I was an artist. Like I drew the cover, I drew the front page. It was all lions.
Okay.
I never had anything really prevalent about lions in my life. But this was like I just knew that it was some kind of a really higher being. Like I should not be witnessing this, and I just knew it in my soul, and I didn't even.
And you backed off. You didn't do anything untoward, so I think you're good.
Yeah. And then last week, Mama and I were doing the cards, and I got my new cards, the little animal cards that I got. Right? The fox card that came up, and it said that a fox is like a barrier between this realm and the next, like the little guardians. And I was like, oh my God, remember the story that I've been saying this for years, because that was years ago that I did that, but it's still, I remember it like it was yesterday, but I'm like, but that makes so much sense that, the foxes are there and that thing was in the back. I was like, that's pretty cool.
I think that you will talk to that guide when you're ready. It just may not be now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I can go back to my comments over here, but yeah, it's neat. So what are your spirit guides? Who are your spirit guides?
Okay. First of all, All angels are spirit guides, but not all spirit guides are angels. Okay.
Mhm.
Angels are with us from birth to death. They have our names in the back. Their tunics like little camp tags. I belong to Corbie. Spirit guides grow and change as we do. You don't have the same teacher from kindergarten to PhD. My first active spirit guide was someone that I flew with 100 years ago. Who, I mean, if I'm just starting into this realm, of course I'm going to have someone that, saved my life. He was moved aside. Um, I have had as a spirit guide a First Nations personality that I apparently was. I got the name, and I figured it was going to be like a white person named Little Dancing Porcupine. No, not this guy. Um, Again, this is someone that helped lead his people onto the res. Remember, I said the I do ending things,
Mm-hmm.
and again, he's someone that the face looks very much like me.
Mm-hmm.
But the main guide that seems to talk to me right now is my guide, Baruchiel, who is my angel. And I've also been working with the Co-Creative White Brotherhood Medical Assistance Program to work on some of the physical stuff. They're brilliant. If you've never heard of them, look up MAP, and it's by Michelle Small Wright, or Michelle Wright Small, the one who wrote Behaving as If All Life Mattered.
Okay.
And so when you work with them, you work with the overlighting deva of healing, Pan, your own team, and your higher self. But everybody has a certain job. Not everybody just hangs out with me and goes for coffee, as we say in New York.
Just with a foot long hot dog and some coffee and a slice.
Oh, and talk. Yeah.
Yeah, and talk. Yep. Put your feet up. We're gonna be a while. Honest to God. So now, so that means a new guide could come in at any time. Now, when
Sure.
they come in for you, do they like come in, blazing? Do they,
They come in like a
No,
lamb or like a lion.
knock on the door and say, "Hey, I'm here to help you."
I I go upstairs and I, say I'd like to speak to my guides. And if a new person comes in, we're polite. We say hello. I say, how come you're here now? Carl Emil Schaefer still stick. He was my first. He always hangs out with me. He's a dear friend, soul to soul. He, especially in the beginning, he was wonderful at when my mind kept going. He'd help me get to sleep. He's like boom. But now it depends on what I'm working on.
Mhm.
And because I know that guides do change, it doesn't freak me out when I get somebody new. I know that Baruchiel has my back. It's not going to be a nasty.
Yeah.
It just, I was dealing with someone who had a pretty severe entity that they hadn't been able to get rid of for 16 years. And I saw their picture. I said, what's around your neck? She said, oh, it's a cross. I said, so you believe in Jesus? Oh, yes. And you're telling me that if you believe in Jesus, you don't think he's big enough to kick this dude's ass? She got rid of it. When you realize, if you believe this, that he's the biggest bear in the forest, why are you worried about what's hanging on to you now?
Mhm.
And God's bigger than everybody. There used to be, I don't know, this dates me. There was a comedy thing called The 2,000-Year-Old Man with Rob Reiner and Mel Brooks. And the 2,000-year-old man was supposed to have invented everything. So Carl Reiner says, how did you figure out about God? Did you invent God? Well, first we thought God was Phil. Who's Phil? Phil was bigger than the rest of us, so we would pray to Phil. Oh, Phil, don't steal our mastodon meat. Oh, Phil, don't hit us with your club. And then one day, lightning hit him in the middle and he died. And we realized there's something bigger than Phil. That was God. That's as simple as it can be.
Yep.
It really is. There's something bigger than whatever is your nasty.
I could, all right. I know I keep doing this, but
That's all right. Keep talking.
a little story. All right. I had a big major issue going on in my life, and someone was telling me, "Well, you got to let go. You got to let God." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, God no. If God existed, then because my mind raced all the time. I'm like, and I was like a 2-year-old, and I'm in my 20s at this point. I go walking across my living room like, if God existed, and I cross my hands and I sit down on my couch, and I said, then he'd shut my mind off. Damn if he didn't. Okay, bam, iron curtain. My eyes were open, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. I could see nothing, and it seemed like it was 5 minutes. It might have been a minute or two, I don't know. But then all of a
But he
sudden,
made the squirrels take their sneakers off and get off the wheel.
Oh yeah.
whole
Oh
hell
yeah.
yeah. So I was like, all right. And then when I first of all came out of it, I'm going, all right, well, I'm either crazy now, for real, or, or that was, that was something else. And I was actually talking on the phone to a friend of mine at the time about it, because he wasn't in the room with me. I was on the phone. And then I said, what happened? And I'm like, yeah, that was great. Call the men with the white coats now to come take me away because now I've lost it, right? He goes, no, that was just God giving you the love tap and telling you, he gave you what you wanted, shut your mind up. Couldn't, nothing. It was nothing. I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I mean, it was just totally black. I'm like, holy cow. So, yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. I'm looking real quick. There is one particular tarot card. A real good reader will understand that there are meanings and meanings and meanings in a card, and it's why, no, you don't just read what's in the little book that comes with the card deck and you're a good reader. Because you're going to miss so much if you do that. The card is the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups is the card that everybody says, ooh, its wishes fulfilled. I get what I want. But the secondary meaning of this, guys, I'm trying to see where I can hold it there.
Right there.
Be careful what you wish for, because you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Which is very different from wishes fulfilled. But when I tell that to people, they go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is really true. It's like you got to go in, you got to have your intent has to be strong and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Your perception is definitely a reality regardless. I mean, that just is it. Tried 1,000.
All right, Chris Ann, for you,
I have
that's the
tried
other
over
thing. A
1,000
good professional will always have suggestions. This is the book that I learned with 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Still published, still good. Okay? But remember, sometimes we just have to sit and shut up. We cannot
force it.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't be like the kid who's waiting for recess.
Yeah.
Because God will sit there and go, when you're done, let me know.
God has a sense.
Done yet? No? Okay. Yeah. He will. Yeah. He, she, it will. I honestly believe that there's nobody who cannot connect their guides. It doesn't mean I think you're wrong or you're lying. Understand that. So far you haven't. I got it. But there will be other ways to do it. Just sitting and doing zazen on a pillow, maybe that isn't your thing. Try automatic writing. Try pendulums. Try try cookbooks. A lot of people, they say, fine, I opened up a book. I need my glasses for this. And I said to God, I need an answer for what's going on in my life. And I opened my book. By far, the most common initial block people have is the fear that it is not the guide who is speaking, but themselves. Guess what? There's an answer. I just opened the book randomly, my darling. So, but that's why I love that book.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's another aha wow moment right there. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that a lot of you guys understand how very special this woman is. How truly gifted she really truly is. I mean, and all this is for.
I'm just 65 and an old fart, and I've made a bunch of mistakes, and maybe I can help you avoid making the same ones because they're boring twice.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you too said that anybody can do what you do, and that and you teach that. So
they have to be. Someday I will be dead. Somebody else is going to have to do the stuff. So
can we go? Someone will have to channel you.
God help that poor child. But yeah, it's like I said, none of us has an extended warranty.
Yeah.
We don't.
That's awesome. Thank you. You're
So
amazing. Yeah, I'll read you. All right, I gotta read the comment just for the people that are going to be just listening to the audio, because this is the question that she was just answering. Is I've tried 1,000 times over for some kind of communication from my spirit guide, and I just don't get anything. There are people that no matter how hard they try, just never do. So that was the question that she was just answering. And yes, Chrisanne, she is amazing, and she was
She
just
is.
real.
because remember, if I thought that the only way I could do mediumship was like everybody at Lilydale, I wouldn't do mediumship. I dared to find my own method. And I have had literally hundreds of people in my career in tears because I got their dead people for them and there was no mistake. If I thought it had to be the way Lilydale did, look at all the people that might not have gotten closure. So you
Mhm.
find a way to talk to your spirit guides and your dead people the way that works for you.
Yep.
And there are tons of ways. But yes, you can. There's nothing in the Totlik, as my grandmother would say, that says you can't. Okay?
Yep,
Just keep trying it.
that's right.
Yep.
That's right. And if someone else can do it, so can you. You know,
Exactly.
and that's it in a nutshell right there. Um,
And it's never the same way twice. So
Never.
so everybody's going to be different. The way Corbie does it is going to be completely different to the way Gina does it. So just take a deep breath, relax. It will happen. Trust me.
yeah,
Just remember,
love
keep your journal.
Yeah.
Keep your journal. That's the
the
most important
journals
thing.
are great, 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 great. That's awesome advice. I mean, that there. I mean, people get so wrapped up and overwhelmed in everyday life. Gotta go here, gotta go there, gotta, and it's crazy. Write it, write
And
it, look
the
at it.
other thing I read recently is the negative things are always Velcro and the positives are Teflon. We have to remember when we got it right because we'll always remember when we got it wrong. But if you have it in black and white, this is what happened, this is what I did, and it was right, that will help give you the confidence to keep trying.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the other that's a nasty habit we have, And I'll tell you what,
Yes.
being a carpenter, that's what you look at too. You look at a room. I'll get done a room, it's all freaking beautiful, but what's the one thing that I see? There's a scratch in the corner. Someone hit the wall with a piece of furniture or something. That's the only thing I see.
Yep.
Not the rest of it's all beautiful and done and perfect. That little flaw, you know. Get out of that. It's like, oh well, that can be fixed. You know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ugh. So do you channel?
I must. I mean, I channel the past lives. I know that Baruchiel I will sometimes channel. There are some parts of my readings that are direct channels because I'll say, don't ask me what I just told you because it was like Omega brain just gone. So yeah, I do. Do I channel an entity? Do I channel, Ralph the Wonder Dog? Not necessarily. I have too much fun with my own words. But if somebody upstairs wants to, use me as their ghostwriter, I'm sure I could. It's just, it hasn't been in my wheelhouse so far.
Wow. Now, are you an only child, or do you have
No, my brother is 7 years older than I am. He's 72, and he is world famous in cystic fibrosis and asthma. He's in Boston. I always tell people that he and I are like a Rorschach of my father. Dad was a brilliant, brilliant, compassionate physician, like my brother. Um, and he also was a writer and very much with the Lauren Isley idea of the world and spiritual, and that was me. This is my father and me at, there we go.
beautiful? Oh, what a
And
nice.
he was my best friend. And that's an example. Normally, that soul comes in as a contemporary, as my best friend. But in this life, I knew that I would need a best friend as a father because I planned a lot of difficult stuff. And so that soul agreed to come in as my father this time. We happened to have the same birthday. I was born on his 34th birthday. And for my first 4 years, I figured I came in a box with ribbons. What did I know? But no, dad and I were extremely, extremely close.
Oh, that is really cool. That was a nice story. That is. Oh my God.
Yeah,
So you got the
exactly.
same birthday. Now listen to this. My birthday, January 9th. My
Hmm.
first husband, his birthday was January 9th. We got married January 9th. My first daughter was born July 9th. My second was born October 9th. We get divorced after 9 years. So what's the big relevance with nine?
Do you know anything about numerology? A schnut? A schnut. All right.
Mhm.
Our lives go in 9-year cycles. What does the 9 mean? A 9 is ending of a cycle. When you are in a 9-year, it's what I call the celestial garage sale. You got to look at your life and throw out everything that's busted that you'll never fix, you've outgrown, and was never you in the first place. So if you've got all those 9s, it is also humanitarian, do for the world. To me, that says it's a life that's going to be very easy for you to dump things that don't work for you. You're not going to have a lot of baggage that you go through life with. It's like you don't have a house. You baggage wise, you could live in an RV and take it with. So yeah, that's where 9s are for you. This is a life of a bunch of completions.
I just said that about an RV today. I had a beautiful camper with my late husband, and uh, and I have a huge. I mean, my house is huge right now. It's full of stuff. And I said to my friend, I'm like,
It's my
yeah,
name on going hold on
one
things.
of these days I'm going to get rid of this. And I said, I could live in a trailer. I mean, my camper was great. I could have lived in that. Yeah, because I have all this stuff. Yeah, I like it. Do I need it? No. Am I really all attached to everything? Yeah, there's a few pieces in my bedroom set I really love.
Maybe, darling, God was hitting you gently with a 2x4 through me. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you think? I think.
Gently?
yeah.
It's gonna be hard or something.
No, I'm hard headed. I need that big whap upside the
Yeah.
head. Like
Mhm.
when you shut off
Be
Oh,
the.
careful what you wish for, because you're
oh
going to
yeah.
get it.
Oh yeah.
I know not to ask anymore because I know what I
I'm the
get.
gentle 2x4 that just reminds you, like, hello, just finished driving 24 hours. Do you think maybe you could take a day off? No, no.
She does that
Not
to me
me.
all the time. Yeah,
Not me.
she's like,
Spiritual cream pie in the face. That's where we go.
I love it. I love it. I want to get a reading with you, and I never do. I don't. I mean, I work with psychics for years. It's like, they're like, oh, you must get readings all the time. I'm like, no, I don't.
No.
I don't have.
And
I don't.
No, I totally get that. There are only a couple of people that I will get a reading from. One of them, of course, is Stacy for medical stuff. Crystal Wind, Anita Merrick, certified tarot master who lives in around the Finger Lakes area. Superb, superb, superb. You can find her as Crystal Wind, I think, on Facebook. Eagle Skyfire down in Philly. Brilliant shaman, brilliant leader on the Red Road. Um, very good, very good. And of course, Bernadette down in Gainesville, Florida.
Right.
But I mean, it's a little difficult because I won't go to a reader I haven't had a reading with, but I won't barter because people will say, well, can I give you a reading? And it's like, no, I don't need one, but thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we can't read for ourselves very well. We're just too ego involved. That's normal humanity.
Yeah. Well, I used to do that every once in a while. Like I'd be like kind of maybe put in a little spot, and I might take my tarot cards out just to do the past.
mm,
Oh, little schnut thing, yes, but
You know,
major, no, no.
no.
Give it to somebody else to do so you can maintain your clarity.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, I think I am too, Chrisanne. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
That's so cool. And she will. She'll be
Okay.
like
Where
probably
is Chris Ann from? What state?
New York.
Okay, fine. So we're same time zone. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think or New York, New Jersey. Which one is it? I think it's
It's
New York.
same time zone. It's same
Oh
time
yes,
zone. So that's fine.
same time zone. Yep.
It's when I get clients from Australia that it's really tough because there's like a 14, 15-hour time difference.
Yeah, Dave, what time is it for you? Because he's in Australia, right? So, what time is it for you now? Oh no, he's gone. Oh
It's
no,
probably about almost midnight.
It makes sense.
No, not midnight. Noon. It's noon tomorrow
tomorrow.
in Australia.
Yeah, Chrisanne says New York. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I've done events and she's been around. Oh my God, I don't even know how many years I've known you, Chrisanne. She's just she's so sweet. Her children are so sweet. She's just a love. And her sister, I just met her sister at one of the other events that we did a little, what do you call those, dinner lecture things.
Dinner and a reading things. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Bob were there, but we were talking about paranormal stuff, you know, and the equipment and ghost detectives and all that kind of stuff. So we were doing that, and she was there. And it's our friends that put it on, you know, so they were nice enough to ask us to go do it. But I was surprised to see her there. It was really nice. It was in New Jersey, I believe.
Yeah.
New Jersey? I can't remember. I don't know. We do too many
You
things.
know, I'll tell you, those reading things, they work. New Year's Eve, my husband and I were at our favorite restaurant, the American Hotel. And we were talking about the dead pilots, you know, all my buddies. And what showed up, you know, the little thing that has a voice and says, has the word when something comes in. It said pilot. And Carl thought maybe, you know, it's somebody behind me. And what came up, what was the next word? Dead. And so it was my voice. And I was saying, I don't think so. So someday you can explain to me how they can do that work.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm fascinated with that. But,
Yeah, it's
you know, that not my circus, not my monkeys. That's just where I put it.
It's a lot to it, and that too. None of it's ever the same. Like you with the readings was never the same. Investigations and all these things. No spirits. No two spirits are the same. No two investigations are the same. You don't know who's going to come through. You don't know who's going to be there. And you know, it could be someone just passing through, or it could be residual that lives there and is doing the same thing, repeating and repeating and repeating, which is sad.
Yes.
But you know, a lot of those, it varies. You know, it's really hard to explain. You know, and
Yes.
then you take people to ghost hunts, and they're like, oh, "Well, we're going to see a ghost." I don't know, maybe. You know, you might. Um, if we're lucky, someone will show up. You know, I mean, you could have brought someone with you. Who knows? You know, they could be the resident spirit that's going to be there and going to show up. Yep. But you know, you're not going to demand them to dance because he ain't going to do it.
No, they don't come on command.
Nope. No, because they'll sit back and they'll laugh at you, and they will. You know, and you know, when people don't understand that, it's like you can't just go kick in the door and tell them, you know, do this, do that, you know, touch me, scratch them, do that. You know, it's like no, please.
No, you've watched too many bad Boris Karloff movies, honey.
Yeah, don't do it. You know, just
Boris Karloff's good.
Boris.
Yes, but
movies, but
he did bad movies. He was delicious, but he did bad movies.
Yeah, they're B movies. They're not A movies. They're B movies. But you know, it's like you just have to have respect, you know, for spirit, for what you're doing, you know, and you can tell the people that have respect and the people that don't. Stay away.
And it doesn't have to be somebody who's Jay serious. You can enjoy yourself and have a laugh, whether you're doing readings or doing paranormal investigations. Laughter gets you much more higher vibration than anything else.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't do something because you think you have to. Do it because you want to.
Exactly.
I get to get up every morning. I adore what I do. I really do.
Yeah. Well,
now you said you do live readings on your show on your station and on your try that one again on your page
Facebook
Facebook.
page.
So it's
yes.
You want to tell everybody
Fire Through Spirit is the Facebook page. Fire Through Spirit.
Fire.
And the next free reading hour is on the 21st, and it's 7:30 in the evening.
Father's Day.
Oh, that's Father's Day. Oh, that'll be special. Oh,
so they vary. Every other month, it's 7:30, and then the next month I'll do 3 in the afternoon on Sunday. That way, all of my people in the UK can take advantage because they're 5 hours ahead of us, 4 or 5.
Exactly.
Now, I watched one of your videos, and you were you were in front of a smallish group, and you had a couple people come up, and they were doing their own readings. So you were saying,
"Oh, that was the TV show I did." Yes, that was cool. Teaching people that they can read cards too.
Yeah.
Why should you constantly pour out big bucks when you can learn to do this?
Yeah. Yeah. And she proved it. then and there,
Mhm.
like, well, you tell me, give me a number.
Yeah.
That's on the cards.
And that's very different from we don't read for ourselves. Major tarot like heavy duty questions. No, our egos are too involved. You go to somebody else. But if you're trying to figure out what's my relationship like with Bruce, you can throw 5 cards. You can see what they say. But you have to learn to read objectively. That's the key.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
Sorry, ladies. Hot flash. I'm just like,
My girlfriend calls it
That's
tropical
my
moment.
arrow.
So that's good.
Yeah, she doesn't
1
even
minute
have
sweat
traffic.
lodges.
Oh, I
Me
can't
too.
deal with heat. I can't deal with heat. Thank God I left West Virginia. That's all I can say. I was dying down there.
Yeah, but she complains about the snow. She could come up here in Quebec. There you go.
I know. I left
Yeah.
Mass because of the piles of snow, and then she's worse. But here it's different. I mean, Pennsylvania is definitely different. It's hot though. It's like muggy. And hot.
Muggy. It's
Yeah,
muggy.
yeah. But air conditioning. I love air conditioning.
Thank God for electricity. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and she lost her air conditioning. She lost her power today, but she doesn't have air conditioning anyway. I'm like, how do you live?
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. There's
It's
no way.
fine.
No way.
Y'all have the vapors. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Doris calls them power surges.
Now.
Yep.
Power surges. Yeah.
Mm.
Fox, the silver fox fire.
There you go. That's a good one.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna do? We all have them. All right, we are down to like our last 5 minutes. What is like? All right, what would you say to people that would be like, I want to go to a psychic, but I'm not sure.
Honor that not being sure. We are a luxury. We are not a necessity. And if you come to us and you're terrified, I have to climb over your shields.
Mhm.
I would much rather that you put off having a reading until you find someone that you truly can trust and you're comfortable with and you can afford. Don't you spend your grocery monies on us when your family has to eat. I've literally turned people away because of that nonsense. It's on the 14th. Let me double check.
Yeah,
Hang
that's
on,
the
Chris Ann.
14th.
I'm checking, baby.
So that's right before. Do we want?
No, it's on the 21st. If it's on the 14th, that needs to be changed. So it will be on the 21st. I'll make sure that my virtual assistant changes it to the 21st.
I need
Where
my
am I?
notes.
Yeah.
About going.
Where was I? Oh, about
Ooh.
don't go to a psychic until you're ready.
The money.
Go watch us. Yes. Go watch us first. See if you like us.
Yes.
Sit in on our lectures. That way you're not going in, deer in the headlights. Because if you think that you're going to sit down with me and because the death card shows up, you're going to be hit by a bus on Tuesday, you should not be going to a psychic.
Good Lord,
You
no.
don't. No, it's not safe for you yet. Do a little studying, listen, just watch people do the 1 hour free readings and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's what I like about Facebook, and I think that's one of the things I started my show for, was you get to learn about the people. You get to watch, like you said, watching Corbie, you get to see if this is the way she delivers her messages. Is that the way you want to hear it? Or do you need somebody who's going to do butterflies and
Here's me.
rainbows and all that
My
stuff?
dear friend, Debbie Dyer, who's up in Brampton, Ontario. She is the Iron Fist in the Velvet Glove. She's very sweet. She's very hello, Firefly. She's very sweet. She's very kind. Her messages are good and true, but she will not hit you upside the head with a clue brick the way I will.
And that's what I know. So that's what I love. And Mama, very sweet. Mama, you are very sweet, and she listens intently, and she's like talking to a sweet, Although she'll give
The name fits the person, and for me, it's I'm the grandmother for everybody. I'm the mother for everybody, and that's the way I do my meetings. Yeah. And if that's what you need, then that's what you need. But you have to learn. You have to learn who the person is. Because I once had where I work, my day job technically is a cashier at a convenience store, And I once had a woman come in, and she was very rude and brisk, and I wasn't too keen on her personality. But I mean, it's my job to deal with her. But then she found out. Oops, she
Nice.
found out who I was, and she goes, "Well, I didn't go to school to learn it. I was born this way. I'm a psychic." And I was like, "Cool." And I didn't diss her, but she just wasn't my cup of tea. But she would have been somebody's.
Right, right.
You have to learn who the person is and how they do their readings and see if they're a fit. It's like
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
exactly.
That is it. That is it. All right, we are down to the 60 seconds. All right, so we got 30 seconds. All right, look her up. All right, Corbie Mitleid on Facebook, every social thing out there, Instagram and Twitter and everything else. Just, she's not hiding. Okay, check out her books. Uh, get a reading from her. I'm gonna be talking to you. I'm gonna be
Or come
talking.
see her on the
You got a
28th
deal.
with me.
Yeah, and
Yep.
yep, Mama's gonna have her on her show real soon. So hey, thank you so much.
Oh, it was such fun with you ladies. Thank you for asking me.
Love you. I love
Was.
you, girl. All right, you all.
Night,
Shit.
everybody.
We'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, guys.
Hang in here. Don't go anywhere, Corbie.
Thank you again for joining us for another episode of The Fox Den. We would love it if you would go over to our YouTube channel, which is The Fox Den, hosted by Gina Bankston. Please like and subscribe our channel and join us in the chat room there while we stream live every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you next week. Good night.